My Lords, I am very grateful to the noble Lady Baroness Benjamin for securing the opportunity to debate this very important topic. I thank the noble Lord for his speech just now. It is an honour to follow him, and with him I wish to acknowledge and honour those sitting in the chamber today. I am personally indebted to my noble friend Baroness Benjamin for being an inspiring role model. Being one of her play school babies, I was born in 1973. I grew up with the noble lady's visibility firmly in my view, but as a child and even as a young adult, no knowledge of her story or indeed of the narrative of the Windrush generation and the scandal associated with it. She has had an indelible impact on my life, and being in her company in this house is a tremendous honour. In the other place yesterday, a question was asked about another matter of delay, the infected blood scandal compensation. This and other areas of concern, Grenfell, Post Office, mean that we have a tapestry of issues with recurring themes of redress, compensation and delay. Yet these are not just issues, my lords, they are about lives and they are about justice. And I must note the disparity in processes that the noble Lord has just mentioned. I'm only too aware that the Church of England is rightly getting its own house in order, albeit not fast enough. The noble Lord Boateng is working tirelessly in his role as chair of the Archbishop's Commission on Racial Justice. In her closing speech in a debate at the Church of England's recent General Synod, the Bishop of Dover reflected that representation at all levels of the Church is not yet where it should be. In 2020, the members of General Synod voted unanimously to apologise for the Church's racism and to give thanks for the contribution of the Windrush generation and their descendants to British life and culture. My lords, in my own context, in North East England, the city of Newcastle is passionate about its sport, particularly football. It is well documented that children of the Windrush generation changed football in Britain forever. They confronted discrimination not just on the pitch, but as the anti-racism charity Kick It Out reports, these players have had to cope with the additional pressure of beating racists on the terraces, in the media and in the boardroom. In 1996, the former Newcastle and Trinidad and Tobago goalkeeper, Shaka Hislop, from his own experience of racist abuse, helped found the charity Show Racism the Red Card. From its northeast origins, this charity now works tirelessly across the UK and also plays a vital role in tackling racism within professional and grassroots football. So, my lords, with this sporting context in mind, this issue is not a siloed one. It is about all of life, recreational, cultural, and it is most especially about the lives of those who still wait for recognition and compensation. And that is why we are here today, shamefully. In my own life and work, calls for justice and reconciliation are deeply ingrained throughout the biblical narrative. Other faith traditions, too, speak into these themes. My lords, I find it deeply distressing, as other noble lords have pointed out, that people have died waiting for their Windrush compensation claims to be processed. The noble Lord Woolley told us 53, my lords. In 2023, there were more than 2,000 claims where victims received a zero payment, more than double over the same period in 2022. My lords, it is not hard to see or understand the impact of delays, and it is not surprising that claimants feel distrust and suspicion of the Home Office. Claimants feel that they are being re-traumatised. They are being re-traumatised, asked for documents and proof in the same way that they were asked to try and prove their residency in the first place. This scheme is meant to be designed to compensate for the failings of the Home Office in the Windrush scandal and to provide justice for those people. And yet it seems the tenor of many claimants' interactions with the Home Office do not reflect this. A new report by University College London has found that government policies had a worse effect on the mental health of Black Caribbean people than the pandemic lockdowns had on the wider population, as the noble lady Baroness Burt mentioned in her speech. My Lords, this increase of psychological distress deepens the trauma and injustice. Calls from victims, members of this House and the other place, and many campaign groups to address all of these matters is ongoing, seeking to ensure also that legal aid is guaranteed to all eligible claimants, because this is a huge barrier, as the noble Lady Benjamin has already said. I also ask the noble Lord, the Minister, whether the government will indeed provide this, or at least a system to recover legal costs, as the noble Lord Woolley also indicated in his excellent speech. In the progress report on the Lessons Learned review, already referred to in many speeches and in follow-ups, Wendy Williams said the review of the complaint environment policies remains essential to ensuring the Home Office learns from past experience and adopts a more compassionate approach. This was raised again in this House by the noble Baroness Lister of Bertisette in November of last year. Can I ask the noble Lord, the Minister, once again, what has happened to this review? My Lords, we must surely rebuild the trust of the public in our government. I fear there is a risk that the compensation scheme that is meant to redress injustice is becoming part of the problem and a source of injustice itself. My Lords, in conclusion, I am again grateful to the noble lady for bringing this debate today, and I commit to following her tireless work in this matter and to offering what support I can in my role.
My Lords, I feel there's very little